My name is Chris Shelton, and I'm so pleased to be with the White House chef, Chef Andrea. Today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting together a little meal here, right? And the cool thing is, besides something that's tasty, what's going to happen is that we're going to talk about the nutritional value from a Western nutrition point of view, but also from a Chinese medicine, Chinese nutrition point of view. So that way you get the full dynamic of the food that you eat is not just to eat, it's also for medicine.
We need to get back to thinking what food was originally for. Your vegetables, your proteins, for hypertension, diabetes, mental health, sleep, relaxation, stress reliever, all those things come into one, which I love about you guys.
Yeah, thanks. What I tell people is that you can eat something that's healthy and good for you and still have it taste good.
No, I can contest about that because I eat a lot. And people say, how, you get a lot of, the misconception is, which is not a misconception actually, because you get a lot of the big guys, let's just like bodybuilders, they'll eat something that looks like just eating it. I cannot do that. My food has to have flavor profiles out of this world. And flavor profiles doesn't have to come through sodium or all those GMOs, MSGs, whatever you call it, I don't even know the name of them because I don't use them. But I do use things that come straight from the earth, right? That has a natural flavor profile. Things that, the garlic, the peppers, these fresh herbs that you can use and bring your energy levels up.
Yeah, and then even exotic herbs. A lot of people don't realize that something like garlic, for example, is considered an herb. The thyme, the basil, all that kind of stuff is also considered an herb. But this black fermented garlic is amazing medicinally.
It is, and this right here is a rare treat. You can eat this like a piece of candy, put it on some bread. I've had people that do that a lot. I'm like, okay, you stink.
People don't realize that the medicinal value, according to Chinese medicine and herbology, is that besides being an anti-inflammatory, the black garlic, it also helps with conditions like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and this stuff. I mean, the list goes on and on for inflammatory diseases.
It's true.
Yeah.
So, you do have one of my favorite things I see here. Meat.
Meat.
People, I have to say, because a lot of people, which I love vegetables, I also love meat. I love fish, I also love meat. I love life, I also love meat. Which nothing is wrong with that because, now when, like I hear so many people with veganisms and they have so many different diets out right now. I have to tell people that non-processed red meats are not the stigma for people think that heart disease and all that happens from that.
Correct.
These lean red meats are not bad.
I'm sorry, but nothing else beats animal protein to build your blood. Yeah.
So we have the meat. We have some bacon here. I love meat. I love bacon. Did I tell you that? We have our mushrooms. We have some rosemary. We have some thyme. We have some organic asparagus. We also have some organic, these big boys right here.
Oh, some of those massive sweet potatoes.
Some massive sweet potatoes.
Sweet potatoes are different than white potatoes energetically. And medicinally in Chinese medicine, sweet potatoes are really good to help with conditions like diabetes. It's really good for spleen and stomach deficiencies. If you have, once again, blood deficiencies, helps with LDL levels as well too, so it helps lower that as well. The other thing, if you mash the sweet potato, and it's really good to rub on on abscesses and stuff like that as well too. And
sweet potato is complex carbohydrate. Mm-hmm. It also has about 130 more minerals than white potato. I gotta stop for a second and let you just ooh and ah over that beautiful color.
Look at that.
Wow,
that's so nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
Sweet.
Mm.
Okay, so this is a white onion, right?
It's white onion.
White onion.
So we're just going to use this for a little flavor profile. So we're going to do these potatoes a little bit different. It's also a quicker way of cooking these potatoes because we're not going to boil them to death. I hate when people just boil potatoes to death.
Right.
Right? You're taking away all the stuff, then you dump all that good stuff that is pulled up from the potatoes. So we're going to do a little bit.
Wow. It's fast. And still has all of his fingers.
I hope so.
So now we have these white onions now sauteing. Now in Chinese medicine, once again in Chinese nutrition, when we have a raw onion, if you were just to eat a raw onion, then that works with your lung network. So if you have phlegm, if you have what we call lung deficiency, so maybe asthma, those kind of things, the raw onion is pungent in nature. So we look at foods of like what is its energetic quality, what is its function, what organs it affects. In this case here, it affects the raw onion, affects the lungs and the large intestine. But when you start sauteing it like this, well, guess what? Now it becomes pungent and sweet. So now it benefits your lungs and your spleen and stomach.
And now, if you do eat it, just like a raw onion, what becomes pungent is your breath. And all your friends leave.
Or your spouse.
This will go right inside here, right? This right here is going to cut down our cooking process probably about 60%.
Smaller pieces?
Exactly. Smaller pieces, we're sauteing it, and what we're doing is we're releasing that sweetness or its natural juices right from the oil.
If we were to look at the energetic properties of meat, red meat itself especially, one of the things that it does is it benefits the spleen and the stomach. And so what is the flavor of the spleen? Well, the spleen likes things that are sweet. But if you're somebody who's craving something sweet, that means that your spleen is yelling at you, knocking on your back door, saying, listen to me, I don't want sugar and processed foods. I don't want carbs like breads and pastas. What I really want is I want something like lean red meat to help to build the blood, to help to rectify the qi and balance the blood and balance, and also, once again, things like sweet potatoes as well too.
So this was just a little bit of kosher and a little bit of cracked black, right? I want to put that in, let it go. I put it on top. So, and I don't mix it up yet because I want that caramelization and I want that crust at the bottom of this. And if you can't smell this, which I know you can, this smell profile is amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Now we are going to deglaze this. I'm going to deglaze this with a little bit of chicken broth. You see that bubbling that's coming up from there? Right? And then you're going to get a little bit of this 100% pure raw clover honey.
And once again, further, another spleen tonic right there is honey. And we normally recommend finding organic honey. Well, these are nice asparagus as well,
These
too.
are nice asparagus.
So the asparagus helps to clear heat. It also detoxifies the body. So if you're somebody that tends to run hot, maybe you have nice sweats, then having asparagus juice, so boiling these and drinking the asparagus juice could actually be beneficial to help with nice sweats and what we call as yin deficiencies.
Asparagus juice sounds terrible.
Asparagus juice?
That's what he just said.
Oh, that sounds incredible.
Yeah, so these are shiitake mushrooms, and these are, what I like about shiitakes is that their medicinal value, besides flavor, is amazing, but they benefit the spleen and the stomach network. They also benefit the liver network as well, too. Okay. Oh, me. Okay.
You want to get some of this bacon out, please?
Yes.
So we'll throw some in the
Okay. And if you ask my wife Teresa, I love to cook. I do all the shopping in the house. So this is a ribeye roast, a boneless ribeye roast. This is prime beef. So there's different grades of beef. There's select, there's choice, there's prime, and so of those, there's actually 4 grades. And I think the lower grade is
don't count. Who wants a lower grade?
Well, on these here, on the ribeyes, because there's so much, now you can see the difference. Like if I had a select cut of beef, you would see that there's not going to be as much fat marbling in there. So that we chose prime because of all the fat marbling. But on some types of meat, let's say if you're using a sirloin tip roast, let's say you're doing a London broil, a top round roast, even a what we call a cross rib roast. Yes, a lot of times what you want to do is when you cut it, you want to cut it across the grain.
Now, the one thing that you need to know with this kosher salt, right? It can stand, this beef, especially with being at an inch thick, it can withstand a little bit more salt. A lot of people like, do this right here, and they're like, oh, give me some salt, which is redundant. Don't do that, right? So I'll tell my guys, give me some salt, right? You're only gonna get, believe it or not, about, let's say about 10% of the salt out of the whole entire thing. I'm like using the cracked black, of course, gives it in really tight ice. Those are the only two I usually use. I don't like to do those things. I'll put some of this, make our own rub and all this. With this type of meat, right?
You don't need much.
You don't need much.
Yeah.
Why would you?
Why? Yeah, you want to have to enjoy the flavor.
You want to enjoy that flavor. So now we have this. We grab them. And we do it.
Oh, I
There's
see
the
how
secret
you
sauce
roll.
right there. There you go.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I love flavor. Okay, so now we got a little bit of rosemary. Got a little fresh rosemary. I see. Oh, okay.
How long on each side?
We're gonna do about about 5 minutes of each side, really quick. Now I'll leave this in here for another minute. The thing about this, it goes really fast and really quick. So once we do that, we'll put it in the oven, we'll put it on a hot heat for about 400 degrees. 400 degrees, and we'll leave that in there probably about a good 7 minutes. Right? We'll take it out, we'll rest about another 7 to 10 minutes. While that's resting, we're going to finish all of our products all together. Right? So while I have all of this good stuff inside here, with the bacon and with the juices and all of that good jazz, here we go. Now that that's done, put it on the plate.
Wow, look at this.
And this is telling me that this is good to go. What I'm going to do with this is I'm going to put a little bit of water inside here.
Oh, that's it.
There's a demi, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one that I usually make demi myself. This is one that I can just actually use and go that has been reduced for 3 days.
Oh, wow.
Like on a low simmer? It
On
just.
a low simmer. You roast all the things off that you need to roast. Your mirepoix, your meat, your bones, and then you do that, and then it just reduced over. It started, let's say it started a 30-gallon pot or a 50-gallon pot, and reduced it down to a 2-gallon pot.
Amazing.
And that's why it's congealed like that.
It's like tart.
Yeah, exactly.
Congeal.
Okay, so for anybody that's been watching my YouTube channel when I talk about blood stasis and blood being congealed inside the body, here's a good visual of what that would be like. Okay, so not quite to that extreme, but when we look at blood stasis and we use food, when I recommend food as medicine to move the blood, this is what we want to do. So believe it or not, that can actually happen inside the body as well too.
Hey, Chef, you get those mushrooms?
Oh my god.
Want to stir them in?
Yeah, we're gonna put them right inside.
Wow, look at that.
That nice richness. It's that deep, rich color is going with it.
So beautiful.
Now I'm taking these over here
So they keep on cooking, right?
so they don't keep on cooking. Exactly. Yes. I don't know, like I said, I like to play around with it. So let's see what I'm doing. This is not premeditated. It's just like
on the fly.
let's do it, right? And we'll see what we can come up with. I'm that type of person.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah. So there you go. The artist. One of the things that you said, which is so important, also in Chinese nutrition as well too. You're talking about the colors.
Yes.
So it's the colors and the flavors, and you know, there's 5 colors in Chinese nutrition: red or pink for the heart, so you got some of that. We have orange or yellow for the stomach and spleen. We have green for the liver and the gallbladder. We have white for the lungs, or silver, you know, white or gray for the lung network. But then we have black also for the kidney network as well too. So believe it or not, when you add those 5 colors, and if possible, adding the 5 flavors, which would be bitter, salty, sour, pungent, sweet, then you have a really balanced for all your internal organs. But this is gorgeous, and Chef, I just want to thank you so much for allowing us to use your kitchen.
No, of course, my pleasure. It's an absolute delight to be here doing this. It's crazy. But one thing before we go, you know, your subscribers are not going to let you go without you trying a piece of this.
Okay.
You know, you have to do it on camera. I always do mine on camera so people can kind of get the whole spectrum of it. But let's see let's get you this piece. This is a different cut, you know, different cuts of different profiles and then sauce.
Different sauce.
Yeah, this sauce right
I love sauce. That's my wife. I'm saucy.
Oh, she's saucy.
She's sassy. I could die tomorrow. I could die right now. Oh my God. Those flavors. Wow, there's such an explosion in your mouth. There's so much going on, and texture-wise too, because not only the texture of the meat, how it came out, but the texture of the sauce as well too. Wow, and combining all those flavors together in the sauce, from the meat, from the bacon.
And that's the whole point. That's why, you know, people don't understand that the flavor profile. It's a natural flavor profile. We only use three spices to go inside of. So you control those spices and the way the meat is cooked, the way it is, marrying, and even this meat, even with the color profile on here, it is absolutely it just falls apart. It's just butter.
Like butter. All right, if you like today's content, please subscribe, check, like, whatever, share, and please reach out if you have any questions. And also, too, subscribe not only to our page, but also to Andrea Rush. What's your YouTube handle?
It's Chef Rush.
Chef Rush. There we go.
God, we're 24-inch pies.
He's a chef, damn it.